and my name's Amir. I do this stream for entertainment value only. None of it is financial advice. So ultimately, everyone has to make their own decisions about how they trade, how they invest. But you're welcome to join, watch, participate, say something, say nothing. Mock me, it's all good. It's all love. Let's have a look at Bitcoin first. So I did a stream last Saturday. I went into depth. My YouTube channel, I do a weekly update. I was doing it Fridays before, but I think Saturdays will be a little bit better at the moment. So I've changed it to Saturdays. And then I cut the streams up and I put them in their little sections. Got D-Travel, TRVL, we got Quanx there, and then we got the Bitcoin part there. And last week I went into depth, did like 2 hours, 1 hour, and 1 hour. Did a full analysis, and let's just have a look and see what's happening now. Give me a second. I just need a tissue to blow my nose. Okay. As you can see, it's live. It's not prepared, it's live. So I just have a look at the charts and see what's going on. Let's have a look at last week. Let's have a look at this one. Have a look at all of these actually. I'm going to zoom in. And I initially had this short idea. It didn't happen. There was no reaction. Huh? So if you don't see a reaction, there's no trade. You can see there's no reaction because it went through the level and it just went through. If it goes through, there's no reaction. There's no short. This is how it works. First, that one. Let's have a look at this one. Zoom out a little bit. Yeah. So I was thinking either we have an SFP, some kind of reaction here, and then if we find support on that back test, then we can long. It's a bit trickier. It's not easy, but interestingly enough, there was a long to be had there, but you'd have to be really fast to get it, and then that just means take profit, and then it lost the level. So scalper's paradise with the correct reaction. And then that didn't happen. That didn't happen yet. And then we haven't hit the higher levels either. Okay. Let's go to the zoom out a bit. And I was just kind of looking at different possibilities in the higher time frame. So let's have a look at what's happening now. A really bullish weekly candle last week. That's a bullish engulfing. And then there's an SFP, there's a swing failure there. So we're kind of tightening into this triangle. Looks like a flat top triangle at the moment. Let's have a look at the monthly time frame. It's gone out and taken out the monthly high as well. Let's have a look at the order flow. Yeah, some bearish CVD here. Look, see the higher highs on the CVD bar, lower highs here. This part has been invalidated because you put higher highs in the CVD and higher highs in the price, but across the range here, from this point here, you see how the CVD goes up and then the price doesn't go up. So there is a bit of bearish CVD here. And then here you've got bullish CVD. You've got bullish CVD at the lows, you've got bearish CVD at the highs. So it just looks like we're forming a tightening range at the moment. Let's have a look at this range. There is this trend line that I've been looking at, and that's been broken. So let's have a look at that. Where is that trend line? To find it. This one. That was a really important trend line. And again, if it was bearish, if this was like the crazy bear market that we've experienced in the past, there was two trend lines, weren't there? There was one there and one there. And you see how they both broke. I think if it was like the beginning of a crazy bear market, these trend lines would hold. You wouldn't get these kind of breaks. And so I feel like we're getting a back test here of sorts. Is it a horizontal level back test where we're experiencing now, like that? Or is it going to go down to back test this trend line, take out these lows for a pump? We don't really know. No one knows. That's the beautiful thing about the markets. No one knows what's going to happen. So you just have to look for the right technical levels of confluence. This at the moment is a little bit bearish. Why? Because we're in the value area, the local value area, and the price has fallen underneath the point of control. So it means more of the volume is above the price, which is generally a bearish indicator. And you got this kind of high volume node down at the lows of this range. It's probably going to be the next good place to long this range. Let me have a look at the overall volume. Just update my volume levels. Haven't hit the point of control yet. We are back into the value area. You can see that. That's where this value area low is. There's no changes there. Did we clear these single prints? We cleared these ones. Oops, what was that? Let's have a look at these imports. They've been cleared. We've got this, look, we've got this naked daily point of control and weekly level lower down. Weekly MPOC. Where's the higher time frame levels? Wash daily. We've come back to test that wash daily level. Let's just have a look at these levels now. Depending on if this week is red or green. If it's green, then we don't. If it's red, we have a new weekly level, and we have this weekly level here. I marked it, but I think I marked it on the wrong chart. Let's go to the dailies. Got a new daily there. Can move that one. There you go. That's updated. So just there's quite a lot of confluence here. You've got weekly, daily, you've got this naked daily point of control. Coming down into this value area. Do we put in a higher low here? like that. Like a flat top triangle. Could there be a flat top triangle forming here? Something like that. Let's get rid of these. Now these triangles can break down. It's not guaranteed to the upside. If it continues hitting this area, it will break through to the upside. Yeah. If it continues going, then it will break up. Got a phone call. Hold on. But it's with these triangles, you get fake outs. Yeah, you could fake out, take the lows, and then rise up. You can also get a fake out to the upside. That's what these triangles do. They fake everyone out. They stop everyone out, and then they go in the direction that they wanted to go. No one knows what's going to happen. You can see the volume is decreasing, so it is tightening here for some kind of breakout. Let me have a look at the monthly time frame again. I am inclined to think that if we kind of tighten, we will break out to the upside just because of these candles here. They look, to me, they look like some sort of reversal forming here on a higher time frame. If it closes green, and then that's a kind of a little bit of a reversal in the wick, and then the next one could smash up. That's kind of where my mind is at right now on a higher time frame. And at the moment, what's happening is it's just tightening. At the moment in this range, this could easily go on for another week with fake outs included. So just looking at these higher time frame levels, you can see that you've got this weekly and daily, you've got this rising trend line. It's only been hit twice, twice. If it hits again, with a naked point of control there, and get a reaction there. It could get a reaction. Could take it right back up to test again. Somewhere. Fake everyone out. Oh my god, this trend line's breaking, and then smash right back up. Test it again, and then maybe a lower high there. Or just go up. You need the reaction. I wouldn't be surprised if there is a fake out though before it goes in the right direction. So I'm not sure about the shorts, to be honest with you. You could always short an SFP, but you wouldn't long the highs. You'd be looking for shorts, but then if the price powers through, then it could just smash through. Could this just be rising? Like a rising wedge? That's possible too. Excuse me, allergies. I'm still inclined to think to the upside. Let's have a look at the order flow once more. So let's have a look at slightly higher time frame. Yeah, you can see there's some bearish CVD forming now. But then there's bullish CVD here. You see that? The CVD went lower, the price was higher. If you get bullish CVD at the lows, bearish CVD at the highs, that kind of gives you an indication of what's happening next. Bullish at the lows, bearish at the highs. That's how it is at the moment. So probably just continue this range until we get a move. And in this situation, what traders will do is they'll take a short at the highs, they'll take a long at the lows, they'll have two positions open. And then one of them is going to get stopped out and the other one's going to be in profit. That's usually what happens with these kind of tightening ranges. So the next opportunity will be to long somewhere there. And then if we get a swing failure, probably a swing failure would be the safest bet for a short into the point of control, probably. If there's a reaction. And then maybe you do smash down, clear all the longs for something like that. I don't know. Anyway, this is food for thought. Not financial advice. It's just entertainment. I think the best strategy is to long the lows, short the highs, and then wait for the breakout. Let's put this in its own group. Okay, let's hide that. Wait, that's basically Bitcoin. I'm going to spend time on it. A lot of people have been like looking at the I've been looking at X, and I see a lot of posts about the next altcoin market. Where is it? I'm a bit Bitcoin. Sorry. Here, look, this person. Others BTC is on the verge of breaking out. I've seen a lot of posts like this. And then you have other posts to the downside. So it's food for thought. Some people are extremely bullish and some people are really bearish. Here, look. I assume during this quarter, almost all coins are going to rally back up to pre-10/10 levels. So you've got different people saying different things. Look, this person writes, buy any alts right now, sell in May. Thank me later. You could always make a lower higher. So this guy is assuming that it's just going to go up and make a higher high. You can always make a lower higher and then it becomes an ugly head and shoulders. So I think probably March, if it was going to have, we're going to have a pump, probably March would be a better better month. You got to see. You got to look at Bitcoin. Here, this is another one. Look, Bitcoin super cycle starts next week. 91k, 170. Like, so you got a lot of people saying things like this. Let's have a look at this. It's like a rising something. I think there's a pattern, and then it smashes through, and then it just pumps. So you've got a lot of things like this. There's another one that I've seen, which is to do with global liquidity. Here, this is it. The Fed balance sheet is expanding for the first time in 4 years. Buy Bitcoin or stay broke. See that? So this is an interesting one. And it's really hard to predict, because when you got these fundamentals changing, and the market goes crazy, then anything can happen. Yeah. I do think we're reversing here. And for me, it looks like we're forming a reversal here on a higher time frame. It doesn't mean that I don't think last 6-month red candle wasn't bearish. I still think it was bearish. I think last 12-month candle was bearish too. And I think that's 3-month candle is a bearish engulfing. So it doesn't mean it's just going to go up in one go. It doesn't mean it's just going to do this. But it could it could do that, you know, like then you have continuation, reversal, undo the bearishness, and then continuation for the pump. So a lot of people are looking for lower because they're bearish. It'd be nice to get Bitcoin at 50k, wouldn't it? Or lower. But then do you really buy if we go down to 50k? Do people buy? I don't know. That's when people are really scared. They don't buy. If it goes down to 50k, something is happening in the world, and then people really don't buy. So there's some things happening on the world right now, which is having an impact on everything. So you've got Venezuela. Maduro was captured by the American Special Forces. You can see it. And so that's a big shift in global geopolitics here. Venezuela has some of the largest oil reserves in the world. So this is a big shift in the dynamics of what's happening around the world. Oil means lower prices for energy, and that reduces inflation, and then that has a risk-on effect. Good morning, Altcoin Dreaming, welcome. So this is a big shift. And then you've got something else happening right now, exactly as we speak. And it's about Iran. So Iran is actually right now undergoing a revolution. I don't think people realize what's happening in Iran because the mainstream media isn't reporting on it. I'm actually originally from Iran. I'm originally Persian, born and raised in the UK, and so obviously I'm watching it quite closely. And you can see what's happening. Is for the first time, everyone is coming out and calling for regime change. And this could be a big shift in global geopolitics too, because this guy, who's the former Shah's son, his name is Reza Pahlavi, he's in America right now, and if he comes back, then effectively Iran becomes secular democracy. And this guy and Trump are aligned, and Iran has also, along with Venezuela, look at this. Look at the oil reserves. Look at that. Iran's oil reserves, Venezuelan oil reserves. These are, right now, Iran sells its oil to China at like 50% or less discount in the black market. So this is going to be a significant shift in global politics. And then obviously that will have a massive impact on Russia, because Russia would effectively lose its ally, so will China in a sense. And so this is a big shift in global geopolitics, which could have a fundamental impact on energy prices. And so there's some big things happening around the world, which may play into what happens next on crypto. So technically you can say, well, actually this is looking bad, it probably wants to go down, but maybe fundamentally things are starting to look good, which could change the risk on appetite for big investors. And then when you see gold is a risk off asset, isn't it? And gold is at all-time highs, and the minute gold starts to collapse, all of that value floods into everything else. Usually when gold starts pulling back significantly, then you get a massive run on Bitcoin. So there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening fundamentally. When I look at Bitcoin dominance, it's still kind of looking to go down. Huh? See that? Last week we got another big red candle. It's Bitcoin dominance is still looking bearish. It's not looking bullish at all. So I think possibly we're forming a tightening range for a breakout to the upside. Now the question is, do we fake out everyone and then go up? Who knows? Right now traders are just scalping the range, longing the lows, shorting the highs. Do we get a tightening wedge for excuse me, or something like that? Or do we just go straight up? And straight up would be no reaction there. It would just be smash through like that. That's Bitcoin basically. I think probably the next best kind of long will be around here, which I marked out. You've got these kind of weekly levels. You've got an NPOC there. The value area low of this local range, somewhere around there. Wait for the reaction. Maybe it just kind of hits this trend line and then things right back up. Maybe it goes down a little bit further, but you kind of need a reaction. The reason why you need a reaction, because the price could always do that.